right, if loving you is wrong, fans, now keep in mind, once again, a friendly reminder this Tuesday, basically tomorrow night, is going to be the season finale for season 4, I believe, before we move into season 5 later this year. At this given point in time, I am unaware of when the show is returning. Keep that in the back of your heads, because maybe, just maybe, we'll get a either a trailer after the finale on Tuesday, or at least, like a little 6-second promo that tells us when the show is coming back. And I hope they do that just to give viewers a peace of mind on when the show is returning, because of course, the haves and the have-nots will be coming back on May 7th, which is next Tuesday. So guys, it's going to be back before you know it. Be sure to check out, I did maybe a handful of have and have not videos during break, due to the fact that If Loving You Was Wrong has been pretty decent for the most part this season. Pretty decent doesn't mean great, but I think for the most part, very watchable. But this video shouldn't be too long here, but it's just a question in regards to, and I'm going to be completely honest, now, I'm not mad at the success of the channel from the videos I've been doing, but it is getting a bit tedious because I wish there was more, what's the word I'm looking for? Substance from the show, because I feel like over the past 2 to 3 weeks, it's just been nonstop Alex baby daddy drama, and I've been talking about that in spades. Now, once again, I'm not complaining now, because I'm giving the people what you want, because obviously that is one of the topics to talk about because the views show it. But I wish there was more to talk about. I mean, the haves and the have-nots, one of my favorite shows. It is not perfect. On this channel, I review honestly. And in the videos I've been doing over the past year, for example, and I say year because 2018, we had the most episodes in 1 year than ever before. But at least in that show, as much as I got sick and tired of the lion tattoo, which to me was one of the greatest things because that entire playlist I did has a ton of views from it. And then the fact that the theory was right meant that the channel exploded as a result. But aside from the lion tattoo, there was so much more in the haves and the have-nots to talk about. Even though, as annoying as they were or are, Justin and Jeffrey, I talked about them. Veronica, the future of the Criers who was going to jail, and this and that, the Malones and Charles. But with If Loving You Is Wrong, it just feels like the only thing worth talking about is who is the father of the baby. Now, I feel like aside from that, I'm just going to name off the top of my head 3 other subjects that people have been bringing up, but nowhere near to the level of notoriety as the baby. Most people just talk about, whether or not Kelly is going to get out of the current jail situation, she's going to get the help she needs. Damn, this is hard. Where are the where are the missing characters? Not just like Brad and Alex's kids, but everybody else that's missing, like Joey and Andrew, and the list goes on. And then the other thing, and again, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, and this just shows you that the baby thing has just taken the show over by storm, which is a good and bad thing, because once the baby drama and stuff is out of the way, where is the show going to go from there? I mean, as much as people complain about it, that's really one of the main reasons people still watch it, and the ratings have gone down. I would say the last thing is just talking about how, people like Eddie and Randall need to get their comeuppance, but that's about it. I think the baby drama has taken the show by storm. And man, yeah, this video was originally going to be me talking about Randall and Tanya, but that'll be its own video. Like, this was going to be it, but I went on a tangent, so I figured in this video I'll just talk about it. This video is going to be talking about how do you feel about the Ian plot with the baby. And I want to be completely honest here. I think that this video should have waited until after the finale. That way, we can kind of get confirmation. But I think at this point, as I mentioned in my video earlier yesterday, the episode leaks about Jennifer Peppa, I'm very nervous about not getting the baby daddy results in the finale, because if we don't, that means we're going to have to wait until the show comes back later this year in order to hopefully put the final nail in the coffin with at least knowing who the father is. Then we can move forward with the rest of the plot. But I just feel like they've dragged this on way too long. Like, the lion tattoo was one thing, but once again, like I said a couple minutes ago, even though the lion tattoo thing was obvious for the most part, at least to me. And like I said before, no hard feelings despite all the negative comments and feedback I got from my videos. I was right. But at the same time, there were other things going on in the show that kept people intrigued. With If Loving You Was Wrong, it's kind of like, Eddie's antics. That's about it. I mean, aside from the baby coming back from break, the biggest things was, did Kelly survive, and will Alex and Randall burn up in the fire? But then all that was resolved within one episode. I mean, technically the Kelly thing ran into the second episode during the first couple minutes, but you know what I mean. With Ian, a lot of people are pissed because of the fact that there's like been no build up, there's been no backstory. I don't even think Ian and Alex have even shared a scene together. And on top of that, it's like, you know, with the lion tattoo, for example, it was pretty obvious it was Derek with the tattoo, because there was no other prominent male character in Hannah's life over the course of, from the episode The Lion. And yes, I know Derek technically appeared before that episode, but you know what I mean, a male character that has been consistently in scenes with her and getting close to her aside from Derek. See, it might have been different if there was a scenario, and I'm sorry, I'm about to readjust my chair just in case you hear some noise, but I think in season 2, or technically season 1, because I went on Wikipedia earlier, and I checked the episode listing, and yeah, they actually put season 2, you know, from the episode where the hit and run occurred to the episode Checkmate where Amanda got shot. That's in season 1. They've literally changed it, so when the show comes back for the haves and the have-nots, it will be season 6, and I'm going by Wikipedia, so hey, Wikipedia. And when it came down to it, during the hit and run saga, if you will, when Benny was in the coma, Hannah had Michael and Byron, so it would have been very interesting if maybe in this last season, aside from Derek, there would have been another guy that was vying for Hannah's attention and getting close to her. And then the big mystery would be, which one of these men has the tattoo? I'm not saying that's a necessity, but it's just one of those things where at this point, the big question is, even though Derek has a lion tattoo, is he the guy? Because I think one of my favorite videos I did, aside from the Who is Derek David video and confirm Derek is the father and yada yada yada, I think one of my favorite ones was adding more to the lion tattoo mystery, which was, you know what if Derek was a part of a gang or a group of people with the lion tattoo, and he raped a woman before that wasn't Hannah? So when Hannah recounted the story of being raped in the past, that really resonated with Derek because he had done some bad things in his past. So he kind of like cried out of guilt because of Hannah telling her story. And it's kind of like, oh man, when I was younger, I raped women too. So just seeing how Hannah is breaking down at this age because of something that happened when she was way younger, I can't even begin to imagine the emotional and physical damage I did to other women out there. But then things were put together when he heard Candace telling Hannah about the lion tattoo on the chest, and that's when he kind of put two and two together and figured that Hannah was the victim of him raping her. But that is a viable, you know what if it's somebody else? Some people are saying Jeffrey Owens, but I've already done a ton of videos saying that it doesn't necessarily mean that he's not the guy, but I just hope that's not the case. But once again, there were more elements to the story, and it wasn't a lot of MacGuffins or red herrings or anything. But with the baby situation, which has been stretched out far longer than the lion tattoo, it was either, is it Randall or is it Brad? Is it Brad or is it Randall? But then all of a sudden you just throw in Ian at the 11th hour, and it's like, wait, what the hell? Like, what does this have to do with anything? But do you think they'll do the same thing on the haves and the have-nots? If, let's say, my theory was right, where Derek was a part of the gang, and then it turns out that another person with the lion tattoo raped Hannah and is Candace's father, but he's not the guy. Kind of like, the results said that Randall was the father, and for the time being, Randall believed he was the father of the baby. But then it turns out, oh no, it's this other guy, Ian. He's the guy that's the father of the baby. What the hell? What do you think if a similar scenario played out in the haves and the have-nots, where it's built up that Derek is the guy, Derek is the father, he's the guy that raped Hannah, but then later on in season 7, because I do think that's when Jeffrey Owens is set to appear, oh my god, Jeffrey Owens, he's the guy with the lion tattoo, and it turned out that Derek wasn't the guy after all, meaning that all the build-up and suspense turned out to be incorrect. So maybe if loving you is wrong is giving us a foreshadowing of what's to come in the haves and the have nots. So what if it turned out, well, then again, I want to be honest here. I think that if Derek isn't the guy that raped Hannah and it turns out it was someone else, I think fans would be a bit more forgiving because fans have been speculating that since the tattoo reveal. Hell, even when Jeffrey Owens was announced to be on the show, people were saying that there's a possibility he could be the guy that raped Hannah. And I think that fans will be more accepting of there being another guy that's not Derek, that's actually the father of Candace. But on if loving you is wrong, there's been no build up to another guy. I think even after rewatching all the episodes before the show returned this year, in the episode, what was it, Let It Burn, the red dress, when Esperanza Natalie went over to Alex's house to check on her, and Natalie said, "Are you sure Randall is the only guy you've been sleeping with?" She's like, "Yes." And I'm like, I could tell she was lying, hinting there was a third guy. So it wasn't until just recently that I had suspicions that Alex might have been with someone else. So to have Ian just conveniently move to the neighborhood and be the guy that Jennifer has been sleeping with is kind of like, I mean, yes, I predicted it, but I think A-Series was the guy that actually pointed it out to me by sending me a screenshot from that Watch Own App promo, and it actually had a scene of Alex being approached by Ian, and it's kind of like, oh, isn't that interesting, because it happened a few seconds after another clip showed Randall asking, he's like, "Are you sure you haven't been sleeping with someone else?" And they literally gave it away. So it could be effective misdirection, but I do feel like we are so close to finding the results of the father that if Ian isn't the guy, I think that's pretty damn dumb that you're about to tell us who the father is, but then you're just going to throw in this other number into the equation that doesn't need to be there. So I'm going to be completely honest here. I think Ian is the father, but I can definitely see why people would be pissed off, because it seems completely unnecessary, out of left field, to have, just another guy added to the equation. Because, I'm not going to count Tyler Perry out just yet, because there have been times where the writing has been incredibly ridiculous, but at the same time, it might take quite a while, but the payoff is worth it. I mean, so I'm going to, hold my breath, hold my tongue for now, watch the finale tomorrow night and see if things add up. But I think a lot of people will be disappointed, and for good reason, if we don't find out who the father is and we have to wait even longer. And on top of that, I'm thinking to myself, and I've already done a video about will we know who the father is in the finale. I'm trying to think based off the preview, aside from the Ian Jennifer stuff, is there anything worthy of ending the episode as the cliffhanger? What would be the thing that would keep us watching the next season? Because I'm literally trying to think of the trailer, and let me pull it up on my iPod while I'm talking. I'm like, some of the biggest things from the trailer is Bennett tearing up Randall's house, but that happens during the day. The board meeting that happens that afternoon at 2:00. I know Kelly and Rick are going to be talking in one scene, and yeah, just bear with me because the trailer's 30 seconds, and I'm not going to play it due to copyright. But yeah, Larry and Ian will talk, and then Bennett tears up the house. Kelly, Rick will talk. Alex signs the divorce papers. And aside from that, it's nighttime when Ian approaches Alex about, Jennifer Pepper, and that's it. So I'm willing to bet that the ending of the episode will be Ian approaching Alex. I mean, I could be wrong, my thoughts. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Ian being shoehorned in at the 11th hour as the potential father of the baby? Do you think it was the right move? Do you think it doesn't make any sense whatsoever? Do you feel disappointed? And like I mentioned before, making a comparison between the haves and the have-nots, and if loving you was wrong, what if it turns out that Derek isn't the guy that raped Hannah, but it's literally someone else, possibly Jeffrey Owens' character? Once again, I do feel like fans would be more forgiving of that scenario as opposed to the scenario of Ian being the guy, even though there's been no build up towards that. And the last thing I want to mention is we are less than 400 people away from 76,000 subscribers. I know it's a bit much to ask, but I remember asking to hit 75,000 before the end of April, and you all helped me. So do you think it is possible to push the channel to 76,000 before May 1st. If you could do that, that would be amazing. So once again, guys, thanks so much for listening. I really want to get some good comments on here about what your thoughts on the Ian subplot is. And once again, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. is the finale for If Loving You Is Wrong, Season 4. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. If you like what you just saw, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, or if you have anything you would like to add to the video, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to keep up with me on social media, go to the description box. All of my links for social media are right there. Also, if you feel like you would like to donate to the channel, make sure to click on the link to PayPal. Any amount helps, $1, $5, $20. As a full-time YouTuber, any support from my fans really does mean a lot to me. Finally, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification icon. That way you're kept up to date on any new content I post to the channel. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next video.